Have you noticed there's a lot of invitation all around us, inviting us to get into debt? You don't even have to go looking for debt today. Your phone, mobile bank, loanings and the likes are coming your way, telling you qualify for this and that amount, and without thinking, there you set yourself and you get in, you dive in. Only for you to realize, like a rat that has been set for a trap, you just walked yourself into a trap that you're struggling to come out. And no sooner have you come out, you're back to it again. And you catch yourself in a vicious cycle of paying debt, borrowing money to pay debt. Time goes and you have nothing to show for what you live for. Debt is not God's desire for his children. In fact, in the book of Romans, we are challenged that let no man owe nobody nothing apart from loving. And when you look at Deuteronomy, you find that God speaking about it again. He comes around and says, you shall not borrow, but you shall give to many. And so we see the intentionality of God as far as his children are concerned. Debt is not part and parcel in it. Yet, unfortunately to say, today many of us Christians, we are bound in debt. Starting from Fuliza, Mshwari, name them, the list comes endlessly. I want to challenge us with a story that is written in the book of Matthew chapter 25. Matthew 25 brings about the parable of the talents. And I've had a number of times this being taught, but one of the things that you hear when it is being taught, the talents are referred to many other things apart from money. But when you look clearly, the talents that the master is ushering to his 3 servants is gold. And in fact, the Bible goes ahead to record and it says, he gives the talents to the 3. To one, he gives 5. To the second, he gives 2. To the third, he gives 1. After a while, he comes back. And to report for what they had done with the talents, the first one comes and says, Master, see, you gave me 5. I've multiplied it for 5. The second one comes, he says, you see, you gave me 2. See, I've multiplied it. I've doubled it. And then the last one shows up and he says, you see, I knew you are shrewd in your ways and you harvest where you have not planted, and the story goes. And I took what you gave me and I buried underground, and here it is. And he returns the one. And the master is not pleased. Despite the fact this one is returning 1, the master is not pleased. In fact, if you read for yourself Matthew chapter 25, you realize in anger, he takes that which one, the one that he had, and he gives it to the one who had doubled. And he goes out ahead to pronounce a few other statements thereafter, that those who have will continue, those who have, they will continue having. One of the things that I realized in that story of the parable, to all the 3, he gave something. And to all God's children, we are given something. Today, if the master is to come back to us, what would he find you with? Would he find you with 5, 2, 1 which you had hidden underground, or negative? I think the majority of us who are believers today, we would fall into the category of those who would be found negative. I wonder if he presented such a harsh judgment for the one who had buried 1, at least he had something, what would be our verdict? I want to challenge us believers. God is not calling us into a life of debt. God is calling us into a life of prosperity. And I want to challenge you and say, you cannot prosper when you're in debt. If there is a healing that we need, the first healing that we need is to free ourselves from debt completely. I want you to sit down and consider the amount of debt you got. and formulate a plan of how you're starting to come out of that plan. I've been going through a class and I've been learning these things, and I'm also in the process of being made. And one of the things that I have realized, among the many things that you can do to start walking yourself out of the trap of debt, is number one, is to shut down all your debt accounts. Don't borrow anymore. Number two is to set up an emergency fund, so that the more that God will start providing for you, you will pick a portion of it, you will pay off your debt. You'll pick up a portion of it, set a percentage on it. A recommended percentage that I've come across a number of many people who are speaking is a percentage of 15% of what you earn. Set it aside. 20%, set it aside. Don't use that money. Let it be your emergency fund, and then you can spend the rest. That way, even in your moment of crisis, you will not need to run to another to borrow from them, but rather you will assume to your emergency fund, take care of your financial hitches once in a while, even as you trust God for providence. I want to believe there are a number of attitudes that have brought us into the state of debt. Number one is not being content with what God has given us. I think among the 10 commandments is that one, number 10, which say, thou shalt not covet. We covet what others have. We want to live like the Genesis. If they can afford this, I want to afford it as well. And so we are going out of our line to spend beyond what is within our reach. Starting today, if you are to free out of the debt, you must learn how to live under your means, not within your means. Live under your means, so that at least you're able to set out a fund somewhere that can rescue, an emergency fund, even as you start growing in other avenues of investments, to see that when the master will return to you, like the first steward and the second one, you'll say, see, you gave me 5, and 5 I'm returning. This 5 will not be returned when it is in your pockets. It must find a channel in which it is invested. I know this is a tall order. I'm learning it, I'm growing in it, and I just feel to challenge the body of Christ. I've been feeling it for some time. We are not living right. You know, I looked at one servant of God, George Muller, who said and trusted God, and he said, I'll never go to debt, but I'll trust God for my everyday provision. I used to wonder, how did this man go? Number one, he pulled himself out of the salary. He was a reverend, pulled himself out of the salary. Number two, he said, I'll trust God with my needs, and God never failed. In fact, he even set up a children's home that he fed thousands of children without borrowing. And he is a role model on what it means to live by faith, and faith alone in God and what God has provided. Stay challenged as I am challenged. May we grow in this together. May we rescue ourselves out of this trap of debt. Debt is choking many. It's a rope that is on our neck. Many of us, we have no joy. We have no peace. Marriages are breaking. Relationships are going apart just because of money. Kindly see to it. Think about what I've said. And also, please, I know for you to have watched this far is because it matters to you. Say something, like, or probably share, and let us see what this becomes for us. God bless you as you become a good steward of what God has given us. God bless you.